Hello guys, Dave Simpson here from DGS Health and Fitness. Today's episode of the podcast, we're going to discuss anxiety and how this can lead to low mood and depression. And I'm going to also go through a few ideas that you can use to help you to combat this. And also this will help you through your daily kind of routine. So anxiety and depression. First of all, we're going to discuss what is anxiety. So anxiety is usually a natural response to pressure, feeling afraid or threatened, which can show up in how we feel physically, mentally, and how we behave. Now, this is a common sort of thing to describe anxiety as a feeling as dread, fear, or unease, which can range from mild to severe. Anxiety can become a problem if we start worrying about a lot of small stuff or relatively harmless situations that we may fear, that may affect us. It's usually when our anxiety feels really intense or overwhelming that starts to interfere with our daily life and also affect our relationships. And people can pick up on some of these things. They may notice that you become more withdrawn, avoiding a certain situation, that kind of thing. Now, we're going to move on to what can cause anxiety. Now, anxiety is caused by many different situations and life experiences. How anxiety affects us is very personal to us. And the chances are, if you asked 100 people what it means to them, you'd probably get 100 different answers. Sometimes there are no obvious triggers for it, and it's difficult to know what situations and what can actually cause anxiety, which can be really upsetting and stressful in itself, for the person who's actually having these thoughts. Now, everyone's anxiety levels are different. Some people find more situations stressful and experiences more challenging in life than others, and they'll get more anxious as a result. However, possible causes of anxiety include our upbringing, our environment, things that can happen to us, our temperature, and other things like that. For me personally, I've suffered with anxiety and depression for a long period, really, but some of that does go back to my own personal experiences in life, my upbringing. Not that it was particularly bad, but the things that happen when you're growing up do affect you, and you sort of see this later on in life, which is things that I've seen this for myself, and I've been getting help now to help myself combat with this. Now, there is other ways where you can find out more about life's challenges that might cause anxiety and how to deal with them. I'll put some links on later. I've got some of these um, information on here from the NHS, and there's also a link to a video at the end that you can watch. It's a good little helpful guide to practice these things in your sort of everyday affairs. Now, symptoms of anxiety. Anxiety can affect our mind, body, and behavior. For instance, we might feel tearful, get stressed, get headaches, or start to avoid things or people that can trigger anxiety. Common symptoms of anxiety may include some of these: feeling tired, restless, or irritable, feeling shaky or trembly, dizzy or sweaty more, being unable to concentrate or make decisions, trouble sleeping. This is something, that has also affected me over the years. Worrying about the past or future or thinking something bad will happen, headaches, tummy aches or muscle pain, dry mouth, pins and needles, noticing your heartbeat gets stronger, faster or irregular as you get short of breath when you start feeling anxious. If you cannot tell if shortness of breath is from anxiety or you're worried about any other symptoms, I would always recommend that you go and see a GP. But on the case of heartbeat and faster, slower, that kind of thing, it is generally when you're going into a situation that you may have a bit of anxiety going into it. You'll sort of, your heart will beat a little bit faster, which can lead to a panic attack, which we'll come on to this later. This is something that has affected me as well. And I've used various sort of strategies and techniques to overcome this. Now, another thing I'll mention here is to shift your focus. So anxiety can be different for everyone, as we mentioned there. Some people find mindfulness and meditation, including breathing exercises and relaxation, that can help to calm anxiety and reduce tension by focusing awarenesses on the present moment and as opposed to everything that's happening around you. You know, just getting that space, that personal space that you need, that private little moment. And there is some things where I mentioned there you can get download apps on your phone. There's a link here on the NHS. What I put on the slide is you'll see there. If you click on that, that'll take you to the link with some helpful recommendations on there. And it is just about getting that bit of time out, even if it's 10, 15 minutes to yourself, to have that little bit of mental space to block everything that's happening around you and just to have that space that you need to gather your thoughts, refocus on something more positive. And also I put on here, try self-help techniques. Now, trying some self-help techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, also known as CBT for short. This can be great to help you deal with worries, anxiety, and unhelpful thoughts, by working through problems in new ways, and also to help you build resilience. Now, this is something I've also tried as well. And if you look on the NHS website or you go and see your own GP for mental health and issues regarding mental health, this is one of the sort of strategies and techniques that they do actually recommend. I've tried it myself. I mean, for me personally, this wasn't for me, but for you, it may be. Like I say, you can try different ones. It's not a one size fits all, as it were. You know, everyone deals with situations and things differently. I know I certainly do to someone else or other people I've spoken to. So it's all just about getting that perspective and, you know, getting your own way of dealing with things by using some of the help and techniques that not just I've recommended on here, but that you can find on the NHS website or various other places. Now, another thing is to try and understand your anxiety. As we mentioned there, it's different for different people. So keeping a diary of what you're doing and how you feel at different times may help you understand why you're anxious and identify ways that manage for you yourself, to manage or get rid of your own anxiety. This will help you in the future for various uncertain situations that you may find yourself in. Also, another thing I'll recommend is making time for your worries. And this may sound like a silly thing to say, you know, make time for worries when you don't want to worry about things. But if anxiety is a worry and it's taken over your day, try setting a daily sort of worry time in your schedule for the day, you know, just to go through your own concerns, things that may have bothered you, things that have bothered you before, things that a situation that may be coming up that you may already be getting anxious about. You know, doing this at a set time every day, having it in a set routine can help you to focus on other things and to think more positively going forward. So that's always a good thing to help you, something that's helped me. Now, also, what I've put on here is face your fears gradually instead of taking everything, you know, all as one in one go and trying to deal with everything. Just break it down into small little bits. Try and, you know, avoid situations as well that are relying on habits that we think will keep us safe that might actually make our anxiety worse. Always have a plan, kind of a get out strategy, I've called it here, for a difficult situation and slowly face up to situations that might help. And eventually, you know, it will feel okay. If you're in a situation or you're at an event, it might be somewhere with your friends, family, you know, something that you've already been anxious about prior to going there. Have this plan have a way, like an escape route. Does it, a better way of putting it? Have that in your mind where you can get out strategy. So if you need to get out of there straight away, make an excuse, get yourself out that situation, get yourself home, take a bit of time to yourself, just relax, gather your thoughts, regroup, go on again later on that day, or maybe if it's on a night, do it the next day. But go home, do what you need to do, get your little self-help, self-care routine to get you, through that particular anxious moment. Another helpful thing also is to look at the bigger picture, instead of worrying on too much about loads of different things. If we're feeling anxious about something, we might get stuck on the details and stop seeing things clearly. This is obviously, a real important thing. And thinking about your problem or situation from someone else's point of view can also make it easier to come up with a plan for tackling it. Now, if you think of someone else, you may have seen your friends or, someone that in this situation, what advice would you give to a friend? And what would you do to help them? Now, I've put the link on here. There's a video on this link, as you can see at the bottom there. If you click on that, that will let you see this video. Don't know if you can actually click on that link, but if not, if you just copy and paste that just here, paste that into a website browser page. This will give you some great, little tips that are recommended by the NHS. This is, like I say there, it's on the NHS website. Every Mind Matters, mental health issues and anxiety. Click on there. So there you go, guys. That was the video. Hopefully you got to see that through here and hear what they said on there. That was a little mention to some of the things I mentioned in the slides as well. So the link is there as well if you want to watch this video, just on there. If you want to watch this at a later date, a later time. There's also the link on that website where you can check various other things. So hopefully that was of some help to you guys, and hopefully, it'll give you a little bit of a better understanding on anxiety, what it is, how you can prepare yourself for a certain situation, and some little tips you can do to, like I mentioned there, write things down. Gratitude lists is always a good thing to have that first thing on the morning. Things you're grateful for could be 3 things, could be the same 3 things every day. Do that. And then also take a bit of space, a bit of time to yourself during the day, meditation, relaxing music, whatever it is that you need to do. Take that time up just for you to relax, calm any fears that you may have, and just prepare yourself for a day and meeting, a week, whatever it is. Just prepare yourself for any situation and then go to bed on a night, knowing that you've done these things. You can rest at ease, go to sleep, have a nice, relaxing time, get a good sleep, and then wake up tomorrow and do it all again and be fully prepared for any of these situations. Now, I hope this has helped, guys. Speak soon. Take care. All the best, guys.